Welcome to Sunday Mornings with Enlightenism. I'm Brother Malcolm.
And I'm Sister Carolyn.
And we are here, I guess you could call us the Enlightenism twins, because we deal with Enlightenism, a new way to think and live, a paradigm shift in consciousness, the power and clarity to overcome victimization and powerlessness. And Sister Carolyn is going to get us started with some exciting insights on Enlightenism and a new way to think and live. And she's an Enlightenism practitioner, teacher, and workshop facilitator. And we'll get us started. And I give you folks Sister Carolyn, the Enlightenism guru.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Brother Malcolm. That is so true. I accept that truth about myself. One of the things that I understand in this life, that we were put here whole. We were born whole, perfect, and complete. Faceless, formless, colorless, and ageless. And we are here to represent that calling in all of our practices and in all of our activity. And so as we go about living this moment-to-moment life, we never know what we're going to get in the course of a day, in the course of a moment, in the course of an experience, an activity, or whatever. But one thing we can rest assured of is that when we are operating in Enlightenism, a new way to think, a new way to live, understanding we're whole, perfect, and complete, and have everything that we will ever need for the journey, then we respond from wholeness. We don't respond from the experience or the situation, let's just say the situation that someone has thrown at you in that moment. What you know is that not only are you whole, perfect, and complete, and we're born with everything that you have for the journey, so is the person presenting the situation, presenting the anger, whatever is happening. What you have is the ability within you to respond from this wholeness. To always understand, to stop and honor yourself by understanding. I don't have to be a part of that anger. I don't have to be a part of that sadness. What I know is that within us, within everyone, they are whole, perfect, and complete, and have within them the consciousness to respond from this wholeness when they are willing to do the work. I know in this day that I awake in the consciousness that I am whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, colorless, and ageless, and I have everything that I will ever need for the journey. When Brother Malcolm and I talk about a new way to think and live, this is the step that you take in a new way to think and live. When you understand and can honor yourself as a person with value, with clarity, when you can honor yourself in that way, you then look at the first principle in Enlightenism that says, I take responsibility for the current conditions in my life. I take responsibility for the current conditions in my life. And coming from this whole place that I know that I was born with, that I know that I was born in this wholeness, it is my responsibility throughout this moment, throughout this lifetime, throughout this day, to be responsible for the decisions I make, for the actions that I take in this life. It is not about being sad or regretting what you've done. It is about understanding that you have the power within you to change the way that you think and live, so that you get the outcome that you're looking for from yourself in your life. You are responsible for your life. No one else is responsible. No one is grading you on how you're living. You are the one that must take the action. You are the one that will give yourself the grade. We don't need to call up our friend and say, was I right in that decision? That person deserved that. Help me justify staying in this illusion, staying in this toxic life that I am continuing to carve out for myself. When you embrace Enlightenism and understand that you are responsible for your living, you are responsible for being whole in your life. When you understand that, there is nowhere for you to go except to this power that you can recognize within you. This power that brings joy to your life, that brings peace to your life, that brings love to your life, and allows you to put aside the judgment, to unlearn those habits that bring judgment into your life. They are habits. They are learned habits. They are taught. And we embrace them in moments of crisis. One of the things I was looking at in the book Enlightenism on page 76, one of the things I like so much about what it says: trust yourself to take blind actions in difficult and seemingly impossible situations. With Enlightenism, when we are building self-reliance, it doesn't just come because we want it. It comes through the practice of unlearning those beliefs and habits that have put us at a place in our lives that is uncomfortable, that is no longer manageable with the illusions that we picked up. When we embrace Enlightenism and we accept who we are, and we can write it out, and we don't have to turn this homework into anyone else. It is about doing the homework so that you can live comfortably in this home that you've inhabited while you were here on this planet Earth. So I invite all of you, the ones that haven't purchased this book, Enlightenism, to pick up a copy of Enlightenism. It is a book that you can browse through and stop, jot down notes. There are note pages in here for you to jot down. It is not for you to mail back to Brother Malcolm and we correct it. It's not about that. It is about understanding and knowing your own life. So I invite you always to pick up a copy of Enlightenism and understand how you awake in each day. You awake whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, colorless, and ageless, and have everything that you will ever need for the journey. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for the current conditions in your life. And know that you have the power to change the way you think and live. And now it's time for Brother Malcolm. Brother Malcolm, author, creator, and philosopher, and mostly creator of Enlightenism. Brother Malcolm.
Thank you, Sister Carolyn. I am greater
than the I that I created.
Right on. That's right, folks. I am greater than the I that I created. I am greater than the way people define me. I am greater because I have a greater power within me. I have the capacity to change how I think and live. That is the greatest power, that we're all born with, divine self-knowledge. the power to change how we think and live. What are your spiritual goals in life? What are your spiritual goals? Define, who am I aware of being? What are my spiritual goals? What do I know about myself? And what do I know about God? People ask me, say, well, are you a Christian, or are you a Buddhist, or what are you? I was born and raised in the Baptist church. So from that point of view, I have a very strong knowledge about Christianity, and specifically about being a Baptist, a Black Baptist in the United States of America. So I know something about it. I also know that when I was a Baptist, practicing and so forth, there was a lot of pain and suffering in my life. And that nothing changed in my life because of my religious beliefs. Nothing changed. Whether I was going to get a job or go to school, none of those things changed how I thought about myself, nor did it give me any additional enhancements from other people. So where does my power come from? It didn't come from me identifying as being a Baptist or a Christian or whatever religion you are today. So what did I know about God? I knew about God what everybody told me about God. I knew about God what the scriptures talked about God, and what the other people talked about, Sunday school teachers, ministers, and so forth. So we were all basically on the same page in terms of our commonality with God. And we tried somehow to connect religion to the secular things that were happening in our lives. So somehow we thought that God was connected to our victimization. When I say victimization, yes, we were victimized. Yes, we were powerless. There's no doubt about it. And there are millions of people, billions of people today that are victimized and powerless because of the illusory knowledge they're using to live their lives. Is there another way to live your life? And that's my quest. I wanted to know, what can I know other than what people have taught me? What can I know independently of what I learned from other people? Is it possible? See, is it possible for you to discover something for yourself? Something new, like someone discovered a computer. Just using that as an example. Cellular phone, telephone. Can you discover something spiritually different about your relationship with the God consciousness that you have been taught about? Is there another way? Was there another way for me to have lived in the world? Absolutely. I could have been a Buddhist, a Hindu, a Muslim. I could have been a Catholic, a Jewish person. I could have been any of those things. They were available in the world. But I was not. I was what my parents taught me to be. And then that was nurtured in the environment. Then I became that which I had been taught. Then I began to make decisions in my life based upon what I had been taught by other people. Now I reached a point, I want to do something different. I want to think and live a different way. How do I do it? I call it Enlightenism. This is how you change how you think and live. It's on the inward journey. On the inward journey in the mind, the information that you need, the divine self-knowledge, will come to you, and you will be able to create something different about who you are and the great power within you, not depending upon some illusory knowledge from the past. I am greater than the person that I'm aware of being. I am greater than the person that was created in this world to fit into the world as a victim. I am not a victim. I am greater. And I do not have to struggle because I have the power not to struggle. It is only when I struggle only when I forget that I have the power and I believe other people have the power, then I start struggling for what they have. I'm Brother Malcolm. Thank you for stopping by.
I'm Sister Carolyn. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening.